Friends, 1102 days of war between Russia and Ukraine. And as you must be knowing, that Zelensky visited USA and had a fight with Trump in open, blaming each other, especially from Trump and his vice president, J.D. Vaughn's side. I will not go into detail, however, I like to quote Lindsey Graham. Zelensky need to resign and send somebody over that we can do business. And we know there were no joint conference as well. Maybe something follow. But in the meantime, Zelensky talked to Macron, Mark Rutte, head of European Union councils, and surprisingly, the share market, which was going down, has risen again quite a lot on this spat. While on the other side, the French defense minister has said France wants to be part of US Ukraine mineral resource talks linked to the conflict. So we know well why this war is going on. Luckily for us, a section of or another part of the imperialist power in USA has realized that if war continues escalating, they too may be obliterated if third world war with nuclear weapons start. But now let us see in brief what has happened in the war zone. In south, in Velika Novoselka area, Russians advanced west and reached Voronaya Gully and towards Vodyane Pool. They also advanced west of Burlatskaya and towards Shevchenko. From Skudne west, Russians' offensive operation continuing towards Veziloe, and from north of Skudne, fight is on for Dnepro-Energia. Russians' advance continues in east on Kurikho towards Andrivka and in Pokrova sector, southwest of Nadivka towards Kotya Rivka. Russians made some gains and fight is on towards Pavlograd highway west of Pokrovsk. However, the rate of advance of Russians in these sectors have reduced somehow. Torsk, in last 4 days, Ukrainians have recaptured part of it in Fomika, Terikon, Krimki and Zebalka district in north and northwest of Torsk. In northeast, Russians are fighting in Lyman and the Vorikna area to extend their control zone. Now coming to Kursk. Russian army, after taking over Novaya Sorokina and Nikolsky, they have launched offensive operations for Staraya Sorokina, and which too is probably under their control, and for Malaya Lokanya. Fight is also on at Viktorovka. In south of Sudza area, fight is on for Lebedivka, which is almost under control of Russian army, and advancing from there towards Novenkoe, which is in Sumy, and fight is also on towards Korilovka. Russians have entered Sumy to cut off the main supply route of Ukrainians towards Russian land, and now Ukrainian hold only 400 square kilometer or less than that, which earlier was almost 1000 to 1200 square kilometer in August last year. Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, Middle East. As far as Gaza Strip is concerned, IDF killed a youth in Rafah by drone and shelled in north at coast area by Israeli Navy. In West Bank, Iron Wall operation continues in Jenin and Tulkarm, while in Lebanon, IDF UAVs struck in Harmal. In Syria, Suwaida Military Council (SMC) is gaining support from the locals, while SDF is distancing itself from HTS, which is in power, and conflict continues in Syrian coast, Hama and Homs. Like SMC, another military council is created on the coast region, Ugarit military council, or call it UMC, to protect the minorities, though at lower scale. In Sudan, Sudanese armed forces have gained in Kordofan in north, advanced in east of Al Khawi and northeast of Al Ubad, and reached Barah outskirts. The SAF also advanced towards White Nile front, and in Khartoum at Bahri, SAF took over Al Qadisiyah and advanced towards Al Sajna. Well, what you see in the background, I'm sure you must have seen it elsewhere on many channels. It has become a part of global entertainment. But to think that world is heading towards a very peaceful and prosperous era, it will be absolutely wrong as long as capitalism, imperialism exists, and US imperialism along with NATO, European Union, and other such entities, even including World Bank, IMF, etc., and various other countries where new Nazism, new fascism continuing befooling the masses and plundering them and exploiting them and making them fight among themselves. I'm also aware very painfully that what I think and what you think are very few. We are in absolute minority, though if we talk about the unemployed people, exploited and oppressed people, we are in majorities. We are not less than 90%, however, divided on various issues, working for identity politics on caste, creed, color, religion, reason, personality cult, nationalities, etc., which is huge chain against our own unity and an effort to dislodge ourselves from the present political, economic, social, cultural, and spiritual situation which is leading our life to hell. Enough sermon for the day, but I will like you to give your comments if possible, and also distribute forward my posts, because as far as YouTube is concerned, I am under shadow control or shadow ban, and it does not go to even those who have subscribed me. Forget about the others. Thank you, friends. See you tomorrow. You keep watching till last, and what you see, that lady, she is ambassador of Ukraine in USA, almost in tears, seeing her president being bullied and humiliated. But though I do not enjoy that scene, I will say that he deserves it. And most of the dictators and warmongers face that. But then negation of that is not pro-people regime, but it turns out to be another clown, another dictator. Well, see you tomorrow again.